y'all have any thoughts on that you want to share with William so he can start structuring performance?
I think someone there to make sure that we stay on track and stay focused, because, we can get off on tangents, and, by the time we know it, half the day is gone, and we don't have very many goals out. So I think someone there to make sure that they're actually writing down the goals, and someone that's a professional facilitator, I think would be helpful.
A written record of what it is that we want to follow up on.
And I'd also like to have it in a week or so before that we can submit to you what we would like to have in that retreat, some things, some issues that we want to have discussed.
So is it consensus to have William look into a facilitator?
What are the prices?
Well, at this point, I can tell you that you're out of money. But we have a additive budget amendment that's coming up for discussion at the next council meeting on the 19th. And I was going to carve out some funds to make sure that we had support dollars available for that retreat. Because at this point, the council's budget has already been spent and we don't really have any funds for this.
So about how much have you?
I wouldn't, recommend we spend more, $4,000 or $5,000.
I would say 400 or 500.
Yeah, that's probably
So-
the audience.
Lots of
Well,
luck
and
with
I
that.
agree. And
Yeah.
Give me a number and I'll try, but
GMA should be able to give you some feelers.
they will.
Maybe you could shoot us an email, let us know what kind of funds we're talking about.
We can
All you
set that.
gotta do is tell me it's gonna cost $5,000 and I'll help us stay on track, because I don't understand that.
Well, when you talk about the time of a professional facilitator,
Well, I'm not saying they're not worth it.
to prepare for the workshop, do the workshop, and issue a written report,
Right.
it's more work than you would think,
Yeah, it's probably 10 hours.
at least.
At least.
I charged, when I was running my consultant business, $3,000 and the city didn't blink, bat an eye.
If they had more money.
Well, once you keep it on the budget,
Yes.
but again,
I think there's the lady that I work with at the Chamber of Commerce, I think is probably capable of facilitating that. Her name is Gilda Waters. She has a consulting company, and she's with State of Georgia Department of Economic Development, and I'm quite sure we could get her for a Saturday. We're thinking one day. So I'll just throw her name in the pot as a consideration.
So she is good.
would you email William her contact
Okay.
information? Any other comments on that?
I'm excited.
Yep.
Yeah, that's small change when we're doing a $20 million budget. Just keep that in mind.
All right, and then we have board appointments. We've gotten a list of board appointments that need to be filled. We provided that list, and we've got some applications. I had mentioned to you guys before the meeting that I would like us to have maybe a Saturday boot camp or something, or where we bring in the attorney and we have a discussion about the roles of the various boards and what their duties and responsibilities are, and maybe have people that want to serve on boards come to that to get a clear understanding of what their roles and what their duties are. And so, with that being said, I would encourage any of you that want to serve on the board, if you haven't already done an application, get your application in, and we'll be trying to coordinate and facilitate time for that get together, so we can finalize the appointments after that, if council's cool with it.
Yeah. I think we need to have training that goes along with it, like maybe a mass training for everybody, but then each
Individual
each
training.
board will have its individual training, even if it's like a training that someone does and we film it and put it on YouTube and the person has to watch it and answer some questions or something like that.
There needs to be an orientation process.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty clear. And there needs to be probably some job descriptions written up. Because again, I think some of these boards forget that they are advisory. And, they need to, be aware of what the boundaries are.
Thanks for pointing that, Dick. being on there
I agree.
to really pinpoint the discussion and say what the ordinances say and do per board.
All right. Now we will get our departmental updates, and we'll start with the city manager.
I basically, because my voice is not gonna spend too much time tonight, but
Understand.
I will kind of jump in and highlight one of Ally's items. She's been great to help me with Aerotropolis. The Aerotropolis board met, and even though they did not change the logo, they did agree to modify some of the taglines and work out some of our concerns with regard to the word alliance, because I think that's a critical concept that was dropped. I think the council felt pretty strongly about that, and we articulated your position on that. And there was a lot of, let's just say, camaraderie on that point, and I think willingness to cooperate. So there will be some modifications made, although they weren't exactly what we had in mind. They did approve the work plan, they approved the budget. Everything else in the meeting went relatively smooth, and that work is going to go on. It's going to pick up pace in the coming year. And this council had passed a resolution designating you and Alderman Ray as the members of that board, and me as an alternate when you were available. We'll need to probably at the next meeting or two, with your direction, get that settled for, since Alderman Ray is rotating out, who the next representatives will be. And that way it'd be formally designated.
Okay. Yeah, one of the things about the Aerotropolis movement, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, what we're trying to avoid is we're trying to be in harmony with our brothers and sisters around the airport area. At the same time, not allowing the city of Atlanta to hijack it like the city of Atlanta sometimes is done. So that's why the key phrase there, alliance, is very important to us, because we all do need to work together for the betterment of this airport area. So.
My concern when I went to the board meetings was, and I voiced it to them, to that board, is that they don't forget that the cities are important and that we are the Aerotropolis around this facility, and they need to be sure that the cities are part of that alliance and recognize that.
And it not just be a
Right.
singular airport-driven initiative.
Right.
I don't think a phone call from the mayor or one of the aldermen would hurt our cause. And just to reemphasize what we tried to articulate at the last meeting. The only other thing I have is the transportation SPLOST process continues to move forward. We continue to monitor it. And the mayor, there is a meeting coming up soon that you will need to attend. And so I'll be getting with you to coordinate that on your calendar. It's in the next couple of weeks for a critical vote on whether that'll move forward. I think because there is a lack of consensus among the multiple moving parts, that the full penny allocation is probably not going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to.
I would suspect we're probably looking at a half cent or 3/4 of a cent, which means our allocation would be anywhere from under a half cent range, 4 to 5 million, 3/4 of a penny, up to a high of 6 million. Still not going to turn our nose up at that. There's a lot we can do with it. Although our complete list numbered between 8 and 10 million. So it'll put a substantial dent in the project list we were thinking about. But what we need to do is, once we know that we have a go for a vote and that the project will be moving forward, we will then organize public workshops, meetings with council to make sure that we have the Hapeville list together, because we will need to specifically draft an interlocal agreement to join on the master agreement with Fulton County.
parts to that machine.
Correct. So with that, I'll relinquish my time to somebody else who has a better voice.
Wait. Tom?
Tomorrow we have our first Pleasant Arms Club meeting of 2016, 10 a.m. at the Hoyt-Smith Center.
10:30.
I stand corrected.
Has been 10:30 in the past.
It has been 10:30, but we have to be ready at 10 o'clock.
I'm good with that.
So 10:30, 10:30. GRPA, we have a Georgia Recreation Park Association meeting tomorrow. We have some staff members attending that meeting down in Union City. That meeting is at 10 a.m. And our basketball season begins on January the 9th. That's this coming Saturday. So after this Saturday, Monday through Friday, and on Saturdays, we'll have basketball games, the youth basketball leagues, as well as games from St. John's and Hapeville Middle School as well. That's all I have right now.
Thank you, Todd. I want to thank you and your staff for all the extra mile stuff y'all did during the holidays. For helping with the Toys for Kids project and whatnot. It's a very worthwhile project, and thank you so much. And also, if you haven't seen the new gymnasium floor, you need to go take a look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. They did a fantastic job. It really looks nice. All right, Allie?
We have been working on the year-end Main Street board reporting, and now moving on to the Opportunity Zone year-end report. And thanks to all the departments for their help in getting that data together. And Main Street is hosting a business appreciation breakfast on Tuesday morning of next week from 8 to 10 for all the Main Street area businesses. And we kind of broadened our small Main Street area to include the whole arts district area.
Where's that at?
That's at the depot, from 8 to 10 a.m. on Tuesday, the 12th. And so the board had decided at their last meeting, rather than do door-to-door business appreciation deliveries, that they wanted to switch up the format and have a breakfast. So you're welcome to come and greet the businesses, and we'll see how it goes and report back. We have some partners working with us on that, Cafe at the Corner and Buttersweet and the Guide magazine are helping us with that. So
How are you getting the word out?
we sent direct mail invitations, postcard invitations to the businesses in the district, because you can't really do it citywide.
Yeah.
It's not citywide. We're considering making it citywide and coming to y'all with the recommendation that we might want to do that, but we kind of wanted to start small this year and see in our kind of area and see how it goes and what kind of feedback we get.
It'd be a great networking event.
Yeah.
Just so all the owners can know each other and.
Yeah, we can get to, talk to them one-on-one, and,
Yeah.
we're hoping it'll be good.
It's awesome.
And that's it.
Awesome, thank you. Bill Johnston?
There are two big ticket items recently is approval of the Solis Hotel, six-story hotel across Porsche Drive from the Porsche headquarters building. And probably everyone's noticed that the Quality Inn, I guess it was.
Marky.
Mark Inn is no longer with us.
Yay. Hey. Let's pile the rubble of it.
And they'll be replaced by a 4-story climate-controlled storage facility. That's all I have.
So, thank you. And Porsche, Akron, the company that is doing the hotel over there adjacent to Porsche, they had a tight deadline to try to get closed on that property by the end of the year, and they did close on the property, so that's very good news. That means that project's gonna move forward, so we have the exciting opportunity to see a stellar hotel there, unlike anything the city's ever seen, so it'll be great for our area, great for the region, so.
Mr. Mayor, I want to add that we are waiting on Akron to send us a joint press release to officially announce.
That's correct. They're waiting for their official hoopla with a tentative March groundbreaking ceremony. So things are rocking along there. Tommy?
Yes, we participated in the mayor's motorcade for the Atlanta Regional Hospital. We delivered all donations that were collected, and we helped with the Toys for Kids at the church.
And I want to thank your staff for all the hard work.
Great job.
They
Great
really
job.
did a great job. The Mayor's Motorcade took in donations of lightly used clothing and personal hygiene items for folks in Georgia Regional. So that was a big, great project. Very, reflected very positively for the city.
I hope that keeps going forward.
Yes, absolutely. I think Jeanette kind of took the ball and ran with it, so send her my thanks and appreciation for that. She worked very hard on that. Jennifer?
We have received our renewal packets to begin our renewal processes for our property and casualty insurance and our workers' comp. So we'll be getting those together and back in this next month and be bringing back those quotes to you guys. And then also we have the South Fulton Municipal Association meeting. I haven't heard back from everybody on.
I'll be there. That's,
On the 15th.
yep.
And we're scheduled to host in February.
February, right.
I'll be talking about that with you tomorrow.
Sure.
And that's all I have.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes, sir. I have three major initiatives. One we're bringing to the close, and that's the annual audit. And I have received an audited set of financial statements. The auditor will be in at the next council meeting with a formal presentation. That's essentially the financial section that goes to the state. And I take that document and forward it to Paul Glick in order to clean it up for the annual financial report and apply for that certification again. So we're wrapping up 2015, and I am starting 2018, believe it or not. With the budget process we start in January with the budget process. We just finished 2017, now we're on to 18 already. And we take the baseline of the payroll at January 1st and start that as a baseline for the personal services portion of the budget. We have a very large worksheet we work on, let the departments have their input. And that initiates it essentially from an accounting standpoint. I'm also working on the chart of accounts, trying to correlate the existing in-code chart of accounts to the state chart of accounts so I can get some standardization. And we're going to tie that into that government software, hopefully, if I can get everything organized properly and disciplined, if you will. And we've got those three going, and of course, at some point I have to give you a mid-year report. We're already at mid-year this fiscal year, so we never stop.
No, never dull moment in the world of finance.
Jim, I forget who Glick is. You're submitting something to somebody Glick.
Paul Glick.
Paul Glick.
Paul Glick is the report expert. He used to work for the
He does that formatted report that's got certificate recognition for outstanding financial
The
reporting.
financial report.
And what's his cost line for the review and for everything?
for the review.
For everything he does for us?
5,000.
5,000, okay.
And essentially, he's an expert in all of the GASB, which is Governmental Accounting Standards. He reviews a report, makes sure it has everything that the program requires as far as content, like the statistics, management discussion analysis, the footnotes. And then we submit it to the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, and they review it, get back to us as far as certifying it as to compliance with governmental standards.
Exciting stuff. Lee?
Mr. Mayor, we're in the middle of leaf season, about halfway through, hopefully.
We're always in the middle of these.
both of our trucks are down at this time, so if you don't see them out there, we hope to have one of them there by tomorrow, so. But they are picking them up with rear loaders, so it'll take a little bit longer.
Well, the weather hasn't been your friend either, so.
No, it hasn't. But I think we're hanging in there pretty well, so we'll be around. Should have Moreland Way back open, Moreland Way Park, then the holidays had a storm and rain that collapsed. And so we finally got some sunshine and we could pour that back. So we hope to have the park open tomorrow, have that all addressed back up.
Awesome.
Lee, I noticed driving over here today, there is some sort of rubber barrier in front of the storm drain across from the wreck. Did our contractors forget to move that? Is there a reason that's there?
It's still there. We have to install an awning over the drive-through, and they're working on their punch list on that project.
Okay.
So we haven't officially opened that back up.
So, but the barrier to the storm drain, they just forgot to pick that up?
No, is it the orange barrier you're talking about?
Well, it's just black and it's like a stuffed tube stuffed
Oh,
right
that's-
across the wreck.
That's for soil and erosion.
Yeah, that's for.
And they'll pick that up again.
So they will pick that up, okay.
Yeah,
That stops silt from getting down into the.
Okay, all right.
that's a protection measure we have to implement to prevent the erosion, sediment.
All right, thank you, Lee. Rick?
Mayor, members of council, we no sooner get out of our accreditation assessment and we're moving into our state certification reassessment. As you may know, it's every 3 years, so they're going to be out here in February assessing us on our state certification. As we move through this holiday season, we have had a couple of incidents that we're working on right now in the police department. One of them took place this morning at the Wells Fargo. We took a report of a robbery at the bank where an individual came in, presented a note, and left without further incident with some cash. We do believe this is tied to another incident that took place yesterday in the city of Morrow. So we're working with them as well as the FBI to try to solve that particular case. They seemed like they weren't trying to mask themselves in any way. So we're hopeful that the evidence that we did gather will lead to an arrest. In addition to that, last weekend we had a robbery. Basically, two individuals took a lady's purse as she walked from the bus stop on Bellevue Drive to Lake Drive. We have some pretty good descriptions on those folks, and we're hoping that, again, some of the evidence we have will lead to an arrest on that. So outside of that, we did have that incident last week where we were able to work with Clayton County, make an arrest.
The abduction. Could you explain kind of the generalities of the case?
Yeah, it was not a random act. This was an act where an individual was out with some friends, decided to abduct one of the people that was with them, and proceeded to take her into Clayton County where he sexually assaulted her. Very bizarre case that Clayton County actually arrived on scene, and he didn't seem to mind that they were there. Very odd. So clearly someone who's not altogether, but a terrible act nevertheless. And we're very pleased that we were able to close that case, and we're hopeful that this individual will do some serious time for his crimes. So, but anyway, it was not an act. It was just a random act. It was, sadly, friend to friend.
All right, Mr. Fancher, the legal world?
Mike on wood, Mr. Mayor, everything's quiet.
Yes, sir. That's always good to hear from your department. All right, David?
I sent y'all an email with kind of an annual update, and actually had some luck where I keep kind of a list of potential businesses, a list of potential buildings, and when they finally cross up, I contact one or the other to see if it's still available. We've had some luck with that lately, and hopefully have some more in the next couple of weeks. One is the dance studio I worked on for months, and we finally found her a place, at least for the next year or so. And then there's a creative firm that would kind of fit with what we're trying to do. They do kind of art posters, but I think they do work for Publix and big firms like that. And I hope that I've got them a place to go to. They've been interested in Hapeville a lot. But haven't been able to find the space that will work for them. So just a lot of those, hopefully some of those things will kind of come together.
Thank you. Appreciate the letter.
Yeah.
All right, we will have regular comments at the upcoming meeting, but if anybody has any comments now about anything, feel free to ask your question or share your comments at this time. Scott?
Yes, Scott Whitaker, 3347 North Whitney Avenue. I was wondering, Dave might actually be able to answer, what's happened with Norton Arts Center?
We are moving that into, that's not the city, but I do work with
Right.
that volunteer. We're gonna move it into just different venues around the downtown to be part of the arts district. So we pretty much kept everything. One of the artists from upstairs is really good. The Village Church made a space for him to go. We found a place for the creative music and Hapeville concerts to go. They're gonna be in the depot. So we shouldn't hopefully lose anything with that, but it'll take a
gardens?
lot of overhead.
The garden now?
Hopefully gonna move that. We have a location somebody's offered to move that to.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Frank?
Frank Faulkner, 3100 Springdale Road. With all the discussion of the budget here, I see that we're still legitimizing addresses that do not exist in the Fulton County tax base. Great point in fact is 385 North Central. I've brought this up before.
Did we have this discussion about the parcel IDs and what the mix-up is there?
I'm sorry, I don't know what he's talking about.
No, he brought this up
I knew it.
a couple of months ago.
But I don't know about 385.
Okay. Okay.
Well, a design review approved that for an address that doesn't exist.
Well, I would think that they would have to provide a parcel ID when they pull a permit.
The green sheets, you can't go by the green sheets. That's just a summary highlight. The actual data.
I'm disappointed to hear we can't go by the green sheets.
Well, I think for all the details, I think it's.
I'm talking about the details.
The
I
point he's
mean,
trying
the
to make.
address is 385, but
It's a
the
summary.
reports that are turned in identify the parcels, right?
Address on that property.
It does not exist in the Fulton County tax base. So if you give a building permit for it, you construct a property there is no way that Fulton County can update their tax base if you're using non-existent addresses. Same thing exists for 301 North Central. There is no 301 North Central in Fulton County tax base. We're getting ready to put a multi-million-dollar hotel up there.
The Bonnie reports the permit activity for Fulton County was used parcel identification number.
We'll get our application now, it's got partial after the last time your word it's on.
The change is being made. I mean, the green sheets is a high-level summary. It doesn't reflect the information that went to Fulton County.
But we're still legitimizing it anytime it comes off in a document that the public has access to. It's legitimizing that. That's my point. I'll get off my soapbox there. Second thing, I'd like to express my appreciation to Chief Morrison and his his EMT staff that responded to my wife's problem. She had 5 o'clock in the morning, severe chest pains. They were Johnny on the spot, got that taken care of, and transported her to Piedmont Hospital. I certainly want to thank you, Chief, for your staff for that.
Any other comments? Mike?
To further his question on addresses and ID numbers, there's one listed here that a restaurant application was approved at 389 North Central Avenue. Where is that?
I don't know right off the top of my head.
It's
actually
I don't know where that is.
Okay, 397 is actually the front door address of it, and I don't know why they put 389. 389 doesn't exist.
Okay, another question. South Central Bar and Grill, they were given a license and approved, and a building permit was issued for 994 South Central Avenue. But yet the building was constructed without a permit on 990. And everybody wants to ignore that issue. it came up with us with the ARB, and it's not our purview to use that for any issue of a license. But the question remains, that building was constructed without a permit, and it's actually on another plat that doesn't reference the city.
Can we do the research on that, guys?
And the square footage of that building was not included in Mr. Johnson's report to the ARB for the square footage of the restaurant.
I just have a question. Who corrects, if we have wrong addresses, who corrects all that? Is it us?
I assume we would catch that internally at some point.
Yes, after this last one,
My question is, how do you get a permit issued to a building that doesn't have?
our application process, if we changed, we started putting on there parcel ID numbers after the district authority.
Let's create some cross-checking so these things don't fall through the cracks.
Yeah, those addresses reflect the address on the zoning map. And as I understand it, the building permit was issued for the work building. 2 permits were issued for the work building, either 990 or 990.
I really don't want to debate it. There's a difference.
This is not the place to debate permits. We don't have the information.
That building permit was issued as a remodel for 994. The drawings say new construction, and it was done on another plat, so he's wrong.
I don't believe I am.
Okay, I'm
You are wrong.
It's not wrong.
I'm not gonna argue information that we don't have in front of us, Mike, in this
I've
venue.
got all the paperwork.
That's
If you
fine.
wanna see
We
it, I'll be
will
glad to show it.
certainly look into it.
Just call me, I'll bring it over.
Thank you. All right, any other comments, Lauren?
Lauren Fine, Academy Theater. Just wondered if there's an update on the collapsed building.
The insurance company continues to delay a response. We reached out to them again today, and basically, I'll be talking with council soon about issuing notice to sue.
Thank you. I got one. On that building, the walk-through, Alan, needs to be sprayed with some kind of bleach water or something. The mold is growing in there, and it's not good to walk through.
Okay, we can check into that.
Thank you.
John?
I'm John Christian. I'm officially an Hapeville resident after 37 years. So I grew up in Hapeville. I'll be offering art programs. I'm an artist myself with the Rec Center starting in February. So I just wanted to introduce myself.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, sir.
My question is for the chief in light of what happened at Wells Fargo today. Can you tell me what's going on with the police department? Because I've been reading about a lot of vacancies and officers leaving.
Certainly.
Would you care to respond to that?
Sure. We're in good shape as far as that goes. Like I said, we've actually been solving cases. We're responding quickly. I think our services have not diminished whatsoever at this point. But we did have a group of about 4 to 5 officers leave all at one time. Sadly, it was a result of they were going from $38,000 to, in some cases, $48,000 with a take-home car and a little better pension. Since that time, I think we have responded with a very good package that we can offer recruiting officers, so we're being very diligent in our efforts to recruit. So it's we're posted everywhere, and I'm happy to report today we've got 14 applications just from last week. So our intention right now, as far as staffing goes, is we're going to continue our recruiting. We're going to have a mid-month testing date. We've got them posted throughout the year, so I feel very confident in our position right now. And my finger is on the pulse of solving problems and continue to be able to solve problems here. And I feel very confident that we're in a good posture to do that. But if you see anything that gives you a concern, I would ask each and every one of you to please call me. My cell phone is available to everybody, and I really honestly encourage you to use it in that regard. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Rob. Any other questions or comments? All right, there being none, I'll entertain a motion. We adjourn. Yeah, oh, yeah.
I have this comment for Rick. This is such a rabid raccoon.
Yes.
I had a bout with one of those raccoons in my yard, and I was told they couldn't pick up raccoons. I understand that because there's nowhere to place them, but if you have a rabid animal, I mean, 5 signs of rabies, and this raccoon that was in my yard had them all. And I mean, they did respond, they came out to my house, and they saw the animal, and they said it was acting weird. But as far as I know, that raccoon was never caught. So I asked them, who do you call if you have a rabid animal or suspect a rabid animal? And I said Fulton County, and they said no. So, I mean, what do you do if you have a rabid animal? Because I asked them if I could shoot it, if we could shoot it, they said no.
Well, here's where we are.
She can ask questions later.
That's right.
We can't afford to pay any fines.
They're already wearing a mask.
Bringing it up because that is something that surely needs to be addressed. We have experienced, probably in the last month, 5 to 6, and what we're going to call odd and very likely rabid raccoons around the city. If they are attacking or if they're aggressive, we will dispatch the animal.
But they did.
Yes.
Chase my husband.
Yes, and in your case, that's exactly what took place. My staff is under clear direction right now that we can't, nor will we respond to every act of wildlife and try to solve that problem. Because one, Fulton County will not take an animal that is, unless especially if it's rabid.
Well, who does that? I mean, I thought they used to take it and cut their heads off and examine them and make sure whether they did or did not.
We're working with the Department of Revenue, or excuse me, Department of Agriculture on that, and the Department of Natural Resource. And that is the protocol. We're just not equipped to be able to do that ourselves, and sadly, they will not respond unless we have overwhelming numbers of reports. So again, right
It's a
now,
shame there's not some humane way to euthanize them on site without having to shoot them. I don't like the
I
concept
don't
of that.
either. I don't like people guns.
But at the same time, they are a threat. Is this a problem around?
I have not heard of another jurisdiction having the issue.
I mean, you hear an occasional coyote or something like that.
We've talked to
Up
College
in North
Park.
Georgia, they drop pellets. They go in and drop pellets
Right.
because of rabid raccoons.
I think whatever's going on is isolated here locally. And again, we will dispatch those animals that are aggressive, because we will not allow them to remain in the city and cause other problems. So we will handle those, but it's got to be on a case-by-case basis.
What do you do with them when you get them?
Well,
If you can't turn them into anybody?
if we have to dispatch the animal,
What does that mean, chief?
we
Shoot
will kill them.
Dispatch.
Shoot them.
We will, in at least a few cases, we've gotten with Public Works and we've found a location buried. We've got to make sure that they're buried deep. And in fact, yes, the heads are relieved and we're sending those off to the state to make sure that we are isolating the problem.
It is really a bothersome thing to me because, I mean, we have a lot of stray cats in my neighborhood.
Right, so that
That
probably.
is a concern because if other animals pick those animals up, it will transfer.
Well, it almost scares me to call on you talking about rabid raccoons.
Don't ask him what he did.
What'd you do, Judy?
Dispatched it. How many weeks ago was that raccoon?
It's been over the last month, probably
Well,
1 week.
that's a couple of weeks. They've been long in my house.
If it was the one that left your yard and came to my yard, you won't have to worry about it no more.
Our yard, and we called Fulton County. Fulton County gave us the name of an organization. You have to pay someone to come get that animal, unless she finds one to take it off. They will not touch it.
Now, Fulton County used to take them,
They don't
because
take
they've taken them out of my house before.
They used to take, that's what I said, they used to take them.
Julian will do it for half the price.
Just knock them over the head with a shovel.
No firearms involved.
Okay. The county extension service, when you have had reports of rabid raccoons in your county, they will provide cakes that you can put out to prevent it spreading and getting into the rest of them. We need to reach out to them and see if they'll.
I'm wondering if we have more than one rabid raccoon.
Oh yeah.
They will send you a box of them if you need them.
But you have to have a report. We asked a few years ago, but at that time, there weren't any registered official reports, and now I think we've got enough official reports where if we just ask, they'll give it to us.
All right, thank you. All right, folks, exciting raccoon conversation. Keep your eyes out, be careful.
Don't try to pet them.
All right, folks, I want to take a motion, we adjourn. Second? All in favor, raise your right hand.
You're right. Okay. How much time left on that one?
22 minutes.
Let it run.
I just let it run. I had 18 minutes.
There you go. We have a house all the time.
I'm in pain.
Watch your dogs.
I was going to ask him what isolates those cats from really the animals that you look
It wouldn't hurt you.
3 damages.
They like our Thanksgiving Christmas.
Oh, yeah. But they come in. My word. They just come and eat cat chow. They call it raccoon chow. There you go. You've seen his raccoons placed down in Morrow.
Yeah, I read that in the paper today.
I called him. We had 2 raccoons there on my back. The cat on the downspout. All 18 of them show up and didn't hit it.
There you go.
You never got another one. The retribution in the hall.
We have a hawk on our property. Yeah, we have to keep them away from our birds. Yep. Good.
I can't hear you.
Happy New Year. Can you tell?
Treat me right. Barr.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to be
All right, man. So we got
you're not Pat, she's Pat.
I'm Pat, she's Ellen.
Ellen,
To her?
yeah, I've got a cat. I'm allowed to have it done.
And she doesn't do that hour. She might just work on taking it.
Well, I know I've got a vet, but I don't have
She doesn't do any of that anymore.
I was gonna ask her. She's got cancer. She's got, an average. As long as she's not suffering, get around all right. I'm okay. Today she says I'll take it.
I understand. That's hard to do.
Hey, darling. I gotta come back to you. Oh, I know. I wouldn't know if I made on me. You're sick. It's cold outside. I'm sorry.
Sharon looked at me and said,
He's having trouble with me. What's going on? I went to a therapy for 6 months. I needed it, but they didn't. They didn't help me. I need help. And I don't think they didn't help me. Something I don't know. By the way, my name is I'm Diane. You know, the people who go, I don't give up. That's hard. I'm not going to give up.
Christmassy today. You look awful Christmassy today.
I'm trying to get ready to go. The sun starts raining.
Always. There's always something comes up to interrupt you. I'm doing very well. You know, like I've had surgery. Both my children had surgery. My father died. My daughter's father-in-law passed away. He had 4 dogs died. I was so ready for 2015 to be over. You know, I'm good.
What did you make any new friends?
I try to sit right by myself and not talk to anybody. You know, 8.5 hours.
You know, everybody needs a while. They're having building beaches like that, not there for a good reason.
There's one lady in there, she's on probation for the speeding ticket. And she got stopped for speeding. That girl on probation, so she had to go to jail. So I'll be a little more careful today. Don't think it's like that. That is not a place for just anybody.
Well, I know he got it. Thank God when it was kids, my friends, everybody. She had friends in the
Well, there's a lot of people in there that do a lot about what was going on. The daily schedule, when they're going to do everything. So just sit there and listen. Let's create people in a big room with one toilet and no doors. I didn't eat or drink anything. I am not going to the bathroom in this place.
I understand that.
Oh, well, we're going to put it off till the scan. But they actually indicted on the wrong thing, so we're going to give it off to This is just, it is my niece upset because the money went into a house her brother was living in. And that's where it's money came from.
I guess I'm a little prejudiced. I don't like to say it.
Just the board's helping up. Yeah, that's what I have. Like I told somebody, I absolutely know who the truth is. The people that understand are the truth is. I have eliminated a few friends over the last few months. Yeah, that does help. But I'm doing real well. Taxes will be here. I'll have something to have time.
Let us know if there's anything we can do.
We will. The same to you.
If you need to get rid of some frustration, come to my house, stand in that middle of the house, bring your head off. And nobody will ever know you're
It's still going. It's only got 10 more minutes though, so that's about right. We'll swap it out right before the start of the next one. It's only got 10 minutes in it.
Well, you can go ahead and do it. Let me scan the room.
Okay. Like I say, Ann came in and just found out something. I can only tell you part of it, but I can tell you this much. Missy did something, and now she is a patrol member. That's why Ann doesn't know what Missy did exactly. It had nothing to do with the she noticed she did some administrative and she got busted down to patrol member. And that's why I know Ann has not discovered. She just told me part of another piece of it. But that's what's up. So she's here. I wouldn't swap it there.
Let me turn it.
Yeah, they're getting ready to crank it up. Okay. Because I got to take it off of here and everything.
Okay, go.
I got to do it now.
Go ahead.
What do you mean now? Got it.
We're waiting.
Sit somewhere else. We're about to start up again. You want to sit or you want to stand?
I'm going to sit. I'm above your head.
You can even go further up if you want.
Yeah, when they start playing the Jeopardy. Yeah, y'all clap them up.
Should we give him a standing ovation?
Oh, yes. Yes. Probably appreciate it.
As a group, we can all say your zipper's down when he comes in.
Honey.
Well, he's making us wait. Might as well be worth the wait. going to be huge.
No.
Well, go for it.
Not even my birthday.
Nice to play along. I will call our meeting to order, and I'll interesting roll call tonight because Alderman Ray's in the audience tonight. She's still the Alderman for a couple of minutes. And so the roll call will reflect that the Alderman-elect and the Alderman are present along with the rest of the Mayor and Council. And I want to thank everybody for coming out to our January 5th, 2016 meeting. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope and trust that you had a wonderful holiday season. And thanks for coming here and being with us tonight. So that being said, Councilman Ram, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance? And I've asked Mike Simpson to deliver the invocation. So if you could rise and face the flag, we remain standing for the invocation.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before you bow your heads, I'd like you to look up here at these fine people and David, some of the other people you see around here, and the Alderman, and realize that they are here because of you, but you enjoy what you have because of them. So we'll bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, please help us to remember that we're all in this together, and to be cordial and nice to each other, and to know that although we have differing opinions, we need to know that we all want the same thing, and that's a better life for each other. Please pray and watch over these wonderful city employees that do all the things that they do for us, and help us with just unyielding hearts, and pray a hedge of protection around them as they go through this year and all the things that they do. And all those that agree say amen.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. If my mother and my daughter, my lovely daughter Tabitha, my mother Beverly, would stand up. I've asked them to jointly swear me in. I've asked my daughter Tabitha to hold the Bible. So if you'll do that. And I'm printing real big print. Mama's 87. So I printed it big and told her to read slowly.
Don't
so
slap him.
She can. She can slap him.
I will. Hand her the Bible.
Election before last, she fell about 3 or 4 days before the election. She fell and broke her hip at her high school class reunion. I won't tell you what year it was, but this time, about a month before the election, she fell and bumped her head. So for some of you tonight that might be thinking, you voted for Alan Hallman, did you bump your head? My mother can say, yes, I did. Before we do this, I do want to say a special thank you to my family because they're my biggest cheerleaders. I know some of you are happy I got reelected, and I know some of you are sad that I got reelected, but I agree with what Mike said. We're all in this together. This is our city. We all want the same thing at the end of the day. We may have different ideas about how we get there. But it's an honor for my beautiful mother, Beverly, and my daughter, Tabitha, to swear me in tonight.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will truly perform
that I will truly perform
to the best of my abilities
to the best of my abilities
the duties of the office of mayor
the duties of the office of mayor
by adopting and enforcing
by
such measures
such measures
as in my judgment
as in my judgment
shall be the best calculated
to
promote the general welfare
of the inhabitants
of the city of Hapeville
and the common interest thereof. Thank you.
Do what?
She said, you left Claudia out. I said, I stayed my family.
Yeah.
You're my sister, so that's.
And would you like to come and you can hold the Bible because you're so sketchy. My children love it when I embarrass them, so I try to do it as often as possible. And just as Alan said, I want to thank everybody, those supported, those who didn't, and I enjoyed the election an awful lot, and I'm glad everyone came to be here tonight, and shall we get on with it?
Two hands. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will truly perform
that I will truly perform
to the best of my abilities the duties of Alderman
to the best of my abilities the duties of Alderman
by adopting and enforcing
by adopting and enforcing
such measures as in my judgment
such measures as in my judgment
shall be best calculated
shall be best
to
calculated
promote the general welfare of the inhabitants of the city of Hapeville
to promote the general welfare of the inhabitants of the city of
and
Hapeville
the common interest thereof.
and the common interest thereof. Thank you.
What did you do to your foot?
Long story. And it wasn't even a fun one. She voted for me.
Running from Iraq. Alderman Ray, Ann Ray. Ann Ray has devoted 8 years as the alderman of the city of Hapeville. But prior to that, and during that same period of time, she was a volunteer extraordinary, doing many, many things in the city. So it's been a pleasure for me to serve with her these past 8 years. And for the last couple of years, Ann's had some health battles. And I said this at the last meeting, I believe. I truly admire the courage and the tenacity, Ann, with which you have fought your cancer. And I pray God's continued healing power upon you. It's been a pleasure to work with you, Ann, and I wish you the best of luck. I got a couple of goodies for you. Yes, I do.
I'll take it.
All right.
Right, Ann.
I have a certificate of appreciation with deep appreciation for your visionary guidance and undaunting leadership as Alderman at Large of the city of Hapeville. So, Ann, it gives me pleasure to present you that. And also, yeah, I know. Lovely key to the city. An appreciation of your dedication and service to the city of Hapeville, January 5th, 2016. So thanks again, Ann. Oh, yeah.
I just want to thank y'all and tell you it's been my privilege and honor to serve here.
Hang on a second. Let me, I turned some things down earlier.
You got it?
Go ahead and hop into it.
Okay, I just want to thank you for putting your trust in me, and it's been my honor and my pleasure to serve this city and its citizens. I truly love this city. That's not stopping because I'm stepping down as alderman. I'll still be involved. God's been good to me. He's still working. He's still on the throne. And if it's be His will, watch for the next election because I'll be running.
Thank you, Ann. Congratulations, Ruth.
Oh, and thank all my council members that I've worked with, not just this council, but the council before. And Alan, it's been a pleasure. It's been my, you know, it's been a joy, really. And all these directors, it's been my honor and really to get to know you and work with you. You know, I knew many of you before I came on board. I worked with Alan on the Main Street Board before I ever thought about being alderman or anything else. But it's been my pleasure and honor to work with y'all. You do a tremendous job. I appreciate every one of you.
Thank you again, Ann. Thank you. The approval of the minutes at the request of Councilman Dimmer will be postponed to the next meeting, I believe. Okay.
At this time, we'll take general comments at the end of the meeting, but if you have any comments on agenda items, please feel free. Well, you can only have one agenda item tonight, so if anybody has a comment on that, please feel free to come forward and identify yourself and make your comment or ask your question. Okay, we'll have general comments at the end of the meeting. We have no old business, and the only new business we have tonight is consideration and action to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Georgia Department of Community Affairs for the Main Street program. This memorandum of understanding is between the City of Hapeville and the Georgia Department of Community Affairs for the continuation of the Georgia Main Street program. The document must be signed by the Mayor, Main Street Board Chair, and the Main Street Manager, and then mailed back to the Department of Community Affairs by February 15th for the agreement for the 2016 calendar year. Is anyone prepared to make a motion on this item?
I so move.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second, discussion? All right, there be none, all in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Well, believe it or not, that's our business for tonight. So, short order. We have taken punch in the lobby, but at this time I will take public comments. It can be about anything, any comments or questions, starting on my right. All right, there be none on my left. Charlotte? Just push the button till the green light comes on.
It's green.
It's green.
I sat in the back because I've been having trouble with coughs, and I was afraid I would disrupt the meeting tonight, but luckily my medicine worked. Up until the time we moved out of the depot for the renovation, the Historical Society and the depot staff, volunteers, had decorated for Christmas every year. And that was a special time for us. We had not been able to decorate the museum for Christmas since 2011, until this year. And we worked very, very hard on getting it all decked out for the holidays. Took us a little bit longer than we had hoped, but it worked. And our special addition this year was the introduction of the windows that we were so graciously given as part of the renovation. And I hope you've seen them, and I hope you approve. On Christmas Eve, we turned on the timers so they come on at 5 o'clock and go off at 1:30. We're leaving the decorations up until almost the end of January because we have a number of community groups scheduled for events inside the depot, inside the museum during January, and these are folks who had not had an opportunity to visit during the holiday season, and they kind of wanted to see it all decked out. So I want to issue a special invitation to everyone here, audience. As of today, we are now open Tuesday through Saturday, 1 to 4, every day.
Thanks, Charlotte.
And with a special call to me, we're open any other time you want to come. So I just wanted to say that and say Happy Christmas to you all from us.
Thank you.
And the windows are spectacular. So they're spectacular.
Charlotte, a big thank you, too, to what you do. You never stop giving of your time, and you give so graciously. You probably work more hours than most people work with 2 jobs, so thank you so much. Any other comments on my left? Ann? If it's green.
It is green. Mayor and Council, welcome to the new Alderman, and Ann, you will definitely be missed. As you know, every time I step up here, it's usually for kudos, things that stand near and dear to my heart. And I throw a lot of support behind the city in a lot of ways. Equally with that comes a responsibility that when my faith feels shaken, I equally feel like I have to step up and say something. This is the first time, and I hope the only time, that I feel like I'm in this position ever again. My challenge is right now, is my concern about the exit of the number of police officers that we've had and some treatment of some officers. I do want to get some information and answers to those. I think it's extremely important at this point. I didn't know what venue to bring this up in. I really struggled with, do I take it to the mayor? Do I take it to chief? Do I take it to William? And in my heart, I knew I just had to do it all at once. So I apologize if this isn't the appropriate thing, but it just is what came to mind on how to go forward from here. Because this is a big deal for me, a very, very big deal. So with that, I had brought my HCOP cert to turn in, but I want to hold on to that just a little bit because I do want to make sure that I understand and have the answers before I make a decision that I will thoroughly regret, because I love HCOPs, I love this city. But without not saying this, then I equally would be not living the life that I say that I am, and that is authenticity, to say what's in my heart, and to make this city the best city it can be with all of us. So I'm asking that we all work together, but I do need to have some answers, please.
I understand. Thank you. Any other comments on my left? With that being said, I'll entertain. Oh, we got council comments. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, it's time for council. So, Diane, we'll start with you, and then briefly.
Happy New Year. Great to see everybody out here to start the new year off. I would like to offer an invitation to everybody. If you have any inclination to serve on a board, I think Jennifer, they can go to the website and find a board application.
Yes, under the city clerk's webpage.
On the city clerk's webpage. So I would encourage you to do that. We are always looking for a lot of volunteers, as many volunteers that want to get involved in this. I think you will be rewarded by the amount of time that you spend, the number of hours you're reading things, and all of that. But it is a...
I want to make it sound good.
It's great to have citizens on the board who really have a desire to help the city. So if you have any inclination, please do that. And also, my cell phone number is under the staff directory, council. I'm not sure where it is. Call me anytime. I'll get to you after this.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay, I want to echo Alan's comments about the cafe project, but I want to make sure that we include everybody because the recreation department helped tremendously. Shift A at the fire department this time, they said they were so good because they were the A team. Also Public Works hauled and did things for us. We even had, William was there from administration and his wife helped all week. So we had, it was a full city operation. And also a special thanks to Exchange Club because they're the ones that gets the food together and collects the contributions and make sure it happens. So I want to give a special thanks to all those, and I hope I enjoy my time here.
And kudos to your daughter Ann for her extra mile that she does. She works very hard. There are plenty of people that do. Councilman Powell?
No real comments.
New year, new baby.
There we go, new year, new baby. Here we go.
Is there another one in the works?
No.
That doesn't happen until it's sleeping all night.
Yeah, it does. Got a new great grandbaby. It took a week.
Sometimes it's not what you do when you're asleep, it's what you do when you're awake, right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Mark?
He can't follow that.
Well, once again, it's an honor to serve this city. I can't express to you how much this city means to me, having spent my entire life here, having seen changes, both good and bad. As I mentioned earlier, you know, in the perfect world, we would all love one another and everybody get along, and that's a goal we strive for. And I hope that some of the wounds that happened during this election season, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty nasty. And I hope that some of those wounds are healed and that we remember the greater good that we're all here for. I wouldn't do this if I didn't care. And I thank my family, my mother, my sister, who both worked their butts off to get me reelected. They worked very hard. I deeply appreciate them. I appreciate my daughter and my son for their support, having to put up with, I go on little occasional rants every now and then about things, so they put up with that. I thank my business partner, Richard Good, for putting up with the times that the city has to come before anything else. And I thank each and every one of you for your love and your dedication. I think Ann said it best when she stood up a minute ago. She's got some concerns, but she didn't throw in the shirt. She didn't throw in the towel. And I think that's what this city's about. So God bless us. I look forward to another 4 years of serving you, and I promise you I'll do everything I can do to make the right decisions for Hapeville. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. I'll entertain a motion. I'll entertain a motion that we go into executive session for personnel. Oh, we got to go into executive session, then we recess, right, Steve? Thank you very much.
I move we go into executive session for personnel reasons.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Discussion. All in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. I'll entertain a motion that we recess. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. We stand in recess. Please join us for country cookies. Woo!
Want to do this? Take it over here.
I
I want you to know, I've been looking at your videos. Well, actually, see, I'm from Hapeville, and I just wanted to move back, so I've been trying to keep track of Hapeville, and your stuff popped up on YouTube, so I've been keeping track of it. So I appreciate you doing this. Thank you for coming, and thanks for saying that. Come out Sure. I hear what you're saying. Is it really? Okay. Oh, yeah, look at that. Well, all right then. I guess we're going toward the cake, eh? Would you like a slice of it out?
And some pies. Still running.
That's all right. That's all right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? We did. Peace and quiet. We stayed home.
People fry bread. Let them. That's real cake, man. Yeehaw. How you doing? Get ahead of slice. Hey, Jennifer, slicing it up nice. And the fork. Got my close up now. One more close up. You can get it.
Standing ovation for Raymond. He's a walking fallout shelter. Raymond is holding the sign. Apparently a walking fallout shelter. Find out why.
Oh, we finally got winter. Yeah. Well, I won't talk about it back I'm trying to learn to hold my tongue.
No, not now. Not now we got the camera going. I've seen it. The only reason we ever do yeah, I've seen my post. I've celebrated so many times.
There was a lady right there at the same time. That lady. Cheryl Kelly.
Yeah, she's one of the yard sale, and we got the first in the book, on the road and trail.
I knew her, but I didn't know her. That's what I go to yard sales for, is the books. Oh, yeah. You can't always get books. She says, no, I bought a whole bunch of books. Oh, yeah. I like history books. I like stuff written in the 30s, 40s.
Yeah, good to see y'all guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate your help. Congratulations. We go in the break room and congratulations. Congratulations. I'm going to get a chocolate. I'm going to go get
It probably all started when she turned herself around. Well, that was priceless.
Well, it was true. It was true. Hey, Sheriff.
How you doing? You got here.